Marysville Roundtable, a discussion on current events, sports, and entertainment.
The Marysville varsity basketball team is getting ready for another exciting season. Joining us today is Coach Eric Schunk and senior Tyler Simpson to talk about this upcoming basketball season.
Let's start off with your approach for the season. What is your mindset going into the season?
I think every year, no matter how good your record was or what you are returning or not returning, you're always looking to improve. You want to keep building whatever you have, and you want to keep, making those gains. So I think this year we'll still be young in some areas, but we have a lot of experience returning in others, and I think it'll be a good combination.
Comparing it to last season, how do you think this season can go a little different?
We're a little banged up to start this season a little bit at various positions, so it could be a slow start, but I kind of hope, that's fine with me, as long as we peak by the time, February, March comes around. I think that's going to be a real focus for this group, not only because we're young, but also because of some of those injuries starting the year off. We got to get healthy, then we can start making runs at people.
Many injuries were most definitely an impact to this season. Having to pull up underclassmen to the varsity level, do you think their experience and the rest of the team's off-season work will contribute to the upcoming season?
Yeah, I think the players that we did kind of pull up, I wouldn't say that they weren't ready, but it's definitely a situation that you would never typically bring up 3 freshmen to a varsity team and have them all starting at some point during a year. I think they definitely were thrown into the fire, and I think because of that, they kind of got an early exposure to what was necessary to be a varsity athlete. And then you have a senior this year that was kind of, one of our leaders last year as a junior that kind of helped them along the way. And you could see, the progression of their, upperclassmen leadership, and then also the younger kids kind of buying into the system. It was good from last year, and I hope we continue that dynamic again this season.
A lot of players have been putting in the work in the offseason. I know you have lots of stuff going on throughout the year, making it almost like a year-round sport. How do you influence your players to get in the gym and play summer leagues in spring and fall?
Well, I think, Ty, you can kind of, if you echo kind of what the expectations are.
I think we're kind of expected to get in the weight room, get some shots up. Really, this is a player-led team. You're only going to get into it what you put in, or you're only going to get out what you put in. So if you want to be lax, just play video games, it's going to show in your record.
This one can be for both of you guys. What are your main goals for this upcoming season?
Go ahead.
I think for me, just to try my best, make sure we have a good time, win some games. Hopefully, going into this, maybe we can win a district, win our league.
Yeah, I like that approach. There's going to be some ups and downs. It's the longest sports season there is, but I like that last goal of winning a district, because that's when, we'll be healthy, we'll be more experienced, and those seniors will kind of bring along those sophomores we may have, and that's when we're looking to peak. So yeah, making it a goal to put a trophy in the trophy case while having fun doing it is always a good combo.
Switching over to team chemistry, Tyler, how do you build team chemistry with the team, as a whole?
I think a lot of it's just hanging out, having fun, going to get dinner. Team dinners definitely help, being able to just interact and not have to worry about how you're playing.
Obviously, team chemistry is a huge role while playing. Do you think bonding off the court is a huge contribute to on the court?
Absolutely. I feel like the better that you guys get along, the easier it is to pass the ball, and you want to see others win. You're not going to be worried about how you're doing. You're going to be worried about how the team's doing.
And I can kind of, I was going to add on to that. Those are the memories when you talk about having fun and things like that. It's not necessarily like, hey, we remember winning this title or not. It's, hey, remember that bus ride with my friends? Or, hey, remember that when he did that goofy thing at team meal? Or, hey, we went to that basketball game together. Remember that we got the picture with that guy? He's in the NBA now. Those kind of events really make basketball special.
Now let's talk about yourselves. Tyler, you've been playing basketball for quite some time now. When did you start, and what got you into the sport?
I started probably in 5th grade. My dad was telling me about it. He's like, we got this team. I think it'd be fun. So I just joined, met a bunch of cool people from different elementary schools, and fell in love.
I think I can second that, 'cause I was on that team too, and I think Connor was too.
Yeah.
I think that was what kind of sparked a lot of people's basketball interests, is when you're doing it as a kid.
Coach Schunk, you have a lot of love for this sport. Did you play basketball in your high school years?
I was just going to say, I like the fact that he said he fell in love with the game, because you definitely have to fall in love with this game to be able to put the amount of time in, because it's not always fun. You have to love something enough to put the time in when it's the hard stuff to do. For myself personally, yeah, I grew up playing. I remember going to all the individual camps and team camps and all that stuff, coming through. I was, a player here at Marysville. I was fortunate enough to play on a pretty good team, and I've played on some average teams. So but it's still friendships that were made and memories were made, and we definitely left it all on the court. So I try to just kind of instill that into every team and the program we have now.
Bouncing off that, what influenced you to be a coach?
A lot of different factors. My dad was a big factor in that. He was a varsity baseball coach for years, even before I came into the picture, and then he kind of was always assisting or helping out someone throughout. Basketball-wise, I would say that Coach Tom Velko, he was my coach here for years, and he was definitely a tough love kind of person. You would think that he'd hate you for 90% of the time, and then there's that one little moment where you're like, oh, this is why he was so hard on me, because I feel so good about that, what we just achieved kind of thing. So. Yeah, good life lesson. Both those two, I think, definitely influenced me to become a coach.
Tyler, this is your senior year. What are you going to do to make it the best out of all your years?
I think I'm going to put more time in outside of basketball. I think over the past few years, once I got into the season, I wasn't really taking care of myself. I wasn't going to the weight room. But I think throughout the season, I'm going to work out.
Thank you, Coach Schunk and Tyler, for joining this interview today.
We are looking forward to the upcoming basketball season. I'm Nate Clark.
And I'm Connor Randall.
For your M6 hometown station.
Marysville Roundtable, a discussion on current events, sports, and entertainment.